Hey folks, Jim and Leela here for episode 200!
Yay!
We've finally done it 5+ years later. Here we are, episode 200. And look, the hat's back!
Yeah.
Hi, hat! We haven't seen you in 150 episodes.
Yes.
I'll get rid of this thing after the show. Maybe it'll come back for episode 300.
There you go.
But anyway, I thought I'd bring something back from the past to the future, as it were.
Back to the future.
Yes. No Michael J. Fox, however.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome to episode 200. We got a lot to get to. We got lots of comic reviews and a lot of other interesting things to talk about.
Yes.
So let's get to the comic reviews first up, and then we will get to some other interesting facts and figures.
Alright, so first up this week, big news, Astonishing X-Men number 51 hit the shelves. So, previously the X-Men were attacked by the Marauders, who were under some sort of mind control, and the X-Men resolved to investigate further. I know, it's always mind control.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, realizing how short life can really be, Northstar proposes to his boyfriend Kyle. Overwhelmed, Kyle refuses and walks away. Bummer. Anyway, scorned...
Typical relationship.
Yeah, scorned and angry, Northstar joins the X-Men in their search for the Marauders, where he's ambushed by mind-controlled teammates and Kyle. So now, in this issue, the person behind the mind control is revealed, the team narrowly escapes with their lives, and Kyle reconsiders and agrees to marry Northstar. The planning for a quick wedding kicks into high gear, but not everyone is on board. The wedding goes off without a hitch, though the reception might be a different story. Okay, so this was just okay for me. Not much happens here story-wise other than the wedding, which I understand that that's supposed to be a big deal.
Apparently it's supposed to be a big deal.
Yeah,
it's like,
right?
It really shouldn't be.
No, not really, but... So, anyway, there is the villain reveal, which I'm not going to, spoil here, but it still kind of remains unresolved. So there's going to be, future issues about that. And the wedding occupies most of the book. That's what you're reading here. I did try to address some of the feelings that are stirred up by a wedding of any kind, but it's not entirely successsill.
Well, you should know about that, having just been married.
Yes. It's not entirely successful there, and you have one person, objecting to the wedding because, they don't believe in this kind of union, blah. That's sort of off to the side.
Should I guess which character it was?
I don't think you'd ever guess, actually.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, but the art is excellent throughout. That really sells the book there. The art is excellent. It does have, a big, you've seen the image before because they show it everywhere, but it has a big sprawl of the wedding, and the art inside is really cool. So if you want to read it for the wedding, it's great for that. If you're looking for sort of your typical X-Men story, it's not kind of a lot of that, but there's some good relationship stuff here that I enjoyed. I just can't highly recommend it.
All right. Next up, we have Steampunk Swimsuit, which features pinups and short stories by Ben Dunn, Fred Perry, David Hutchison, and Brian Denham. So, if you're a steampunk fan, check this one out. I quite enjoyed it. There's 2 short stories in this. One where a Frankenstein's type monster has to go to the beach to model off some swimwear.
Okay.
And the other where a poor delivery girl gets stuck in the middle of the ocean but finds a giant steam-powered ship. So, yeah, I quite enjoyed this. The art by Dunn, Hutchison, Perry, and Denham, as always, is great. If you're a steampunk fan, you're probably going to really enjoy this one. Yeah. I know I did, and I had a little bit of a laugh here and there with some of the stories, so...
Imagine that Frankenstein one.
Yeah, well, it's a female Frankenstein.
Awesome.
So she doesn't know why she should have to model swimwear, so...
Interesting.
So her inventor kind of pushes her into it. It's kind of funny. I quite liked it. Nice. But yeah, if you want to try a little something different with your steampunk...
Yeah, this is it.
This is it, pretty much. Check it out if you get a chance.
Alright, our Before the Watchmen reviews continue with Comedian #1.
Yep.
So, in this one, the comedian has some influential friends. I mean, the book opens with him playing football with the Kennedys at Martha's Vineyard. I'm not joking. Then Jackie Kennedy. Yeah. Then
Catch that ball, comedian. Hey there, dude.
Then Jackie Kennedy.
Shout out.
What? Okay.
Sorry.
Anyways, Jackie Kennedy approaches Eddie, the comedian, with a delicate request, and he comes through for the family that he loves. He's trying to protect them. But it puts him in the middle of, a pretty big historic event.
If only he knew what would happen to all those Kennedys.
Yes. Later, he's called away to sort of participate in a drug bust, like he's on the cop side of things. But does it turn out that it's all a big distraction? Because something really important in history happens that day, and it leaves the comedian very upset. I loved this. The art is awesome, especially the real-life faces, like when you're dealing with historical figures like the Kennedys, is just amazing. J.G. Jones did a really great job. And I love how Azzarello tied, like, fact and fiction together here by rooting the action into, like, real people and places and things that happen. The fictional events are that much more visceral because of all of the real events that it's tied into. So I thought it was really cool, and I can't wait for the second issue. I probably like this one a little bit more than the Minutemen, honestly. Really loved this one, so check it out.
Alright, next up we have Critter, Volume 2, Number 1. In this one, Cassia Crawford has taken over being a hero in place of her mother and has had quite a few adventures along the way. But now she is on her way to Los Angeles to join her new friends known as Perfection.
Nice.
Alright, so yeah, there's a lot of cat puns in this book.
Yes.
Josie, you name it. It's quite funny. Yeah. But as always, Tom Hutchison writes a really good script for the story, and as always with Big Dog Inc. stuff, the art is simply great.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is a superhero book from Big Dog, so it's a lot of adventure and a lot of interesting aspects to it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of flashes forward and flashes backward in time.
Oh, neat.
So
okay.
It's an interesting concept, and I really have enjoyed the character before in the last 2 miniseries or so. So I'm looking forward to this ongoing series. The series as a whole has been really good so far, and pretty much everything Big Dog puts out has been really excellent to read and look at the really nice art.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you haven't checked out a Big Dog Inc. book, check this one out. It's a lot of fun.
Great studio.
And quite frankly, they are a great studio, and I really appreciate that they let us review their very first releases a couple years back. We do appreciate it, Tom, and we look forward to seeing more.
Yep. Okay, so this one is a viewer send-in. This is called TDSA, or Teenage Defending Squad of America. So in this one, Jack...
We're in Canada. We don't.
Yes, but see, you set stuff in America.
It sells better.
It probably sells better, even though Alpha Flight rules. But anyways. So in this one, Jack...
Sasquatch!
He's at the wedding. Anyways. Jack Kempatowski is your typical teenager. Homework to do, dress up as the school mascot for the pep rally, and hang out with your best friend, Lori. But after they sort of stop, or a team stops a bank robbery, a superhero team, Jack becomes obsessed with the TDSA, and his friend Lori does what best friends do. Encourage him to make a costume of his own and sign up. She even makes one too. That's a good best friend. Right there. That's a good best friend. So, Environment Girl and Panda Lad join Truck Lad, Vacuum Girl, and Dynamo Boy in the fight against Mr. Forever and Team... Yeah, it is awesome. And Team Evil. So they sort of leave their friend Candace feeling a little neglected, of course, because they have this whole little superhero gig that they've taken up. And when Jack's grades start to slip, it gets really hard to maintain his secret identity. So I really enjoyed this. I thought it was a lot of fun. Jack and Lori are very likable characters. They're the two that you sort of are seeing everything through. You really care what happens to them, which I like, and their interaction together is sweet, and things don't end up the way that you think that they're going to. I was like, oh, is this
Everyone dies.
Yeah. I was like, is this going to be like some kind of wonderful thing where, there's like the awkward guy who really likes the cheerleader and then ends up with his best friend who's kind of, a quiet, shy girl too. It's not like that. It turns out different, which I enjoy being surprised. I like that. So if you like hip superhero teens, you're probably going to like this one. If you get a chance, pick it up. It's a really good read.
Alright, next up we have a blast from the past. It's Mars Attacks #1 from IDW.
Yep.
And in this all-new ongoing series, we have, in the summer of 1962, some rednecks come upon an unconscious alien and sell it to the county fair, unaware, of course, that it is actually a Martian general. And with his disappearance, the Martian army makes its way towards Earth.
See, they just went wrong in a bunch of places there.
Well, I think beating the alien atop the head was the first thing they should have not done.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you're a fan of course, the Tim Burton film,
Yeah.
or the original cards, or the original Topps comics from way back in the 90s, then you're going to really enjoy this one.
Yes.
Sadly, if you're a collector, there's like 58 covers here.
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
There's one that's like exclusive to a box set where you can buy
there is
like,
a
all
box
of them.
set that has all of the covers, so there is that.
Yeah.
So check that out if you get a chance.
And each of the covers are like numbered, like the cards are numbered, so you can like try and collect them all. Which we've already had some people coming and go, "Which ones do you have?"
Yeah.
You know, so that part of it's fun.
Yep. But if you're a fan of Mars Attacks, then you're going to really enjoy this one.
Yeah.
It is a really hilarious look at just what happens when you kick off the Martian race.
Yeah, it's bad times.
Well, bad times ensue for the human race.
Yes.
So, if you're a fan of Mars Attacks, check this one out. It was actually a lot of fun, and I do look forward to seeing the next ones. But I really don't think we needed 58 covers.
Probably not. Probably not. Alright, so speaking of blasts in the past, I don't know if all of you know about this book here, but this is the Locksleys and the War of 1812. So, on June 18th, 1812, the United States declared war on Great Britain and looked to conquering Canada as the first military objective of the war.
Didn't work out so well for you, did it, America?
No, it didn't. So this book follows the Loxleys, which is sort of a fictional family living in Niagara Peninsula as they deal with the realities of war at their doorstep. And the book also features in the back a cool text summary of the War of 1812 and its ramifications for all of those involved. This is really, really well done. I will agree. The art is absolutely gorgeous, and the story is fantastic. Yeah, the art is gorgeous, like you said, and putting this family in the middle of it really personalizes all the events that happen, and they're trying to be really historically accurate here, but it just makes you care about the events that much more, sort of seeing it from certain people's point of view. So it was really effective, and this is a really great resource for teachers, actually. Yeah, so, like, I agree. Lots of people are asking, like, well, what can I put in my classroom as far as comic books and that kind of thing? Well, this thing right here. They actually have a really great website too that you should check out, www.1812timeline.com. That's really interactive and it is really cool. So if you want to know more about the War of 1812, then this is definitely a great resource and just an awesome read as just a comic book. I thought it was really well done, and like you said, like the art is just amazing. Yep. So please give this a chance. It was really, really worth your time.
And it makes me want to sing, "And the White House burned, 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 and we were the ones that did it."
Yes. Yes.
La, 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 la. Anyway, and to cap off my reviews this week, we have Space Cops from Brian Avenue. And this one, Jill and Freddy are maverick space cops reassigned to Ryglos 4 to protect the oil production facilities from terrorists. But that doesn't mean they can't have a little fun while on the job.
Okay.
So, as always, Brian Avenue's art is really great here. There's a cartoonish tint on it, and there's just so much fun in every panel. You can't help but have fun reading this kind of stuff, and I know I certainly did. So if you get a chance, check this one out. I simply adored it, and it's really fun and original, and just a blast to read from page to page. And you'll have a good laugh with this one, I assure you. So check it out at the link below if you get a chance. And as always, thank you, Brian. Love your stuff. Keep it up.
Alright, so being that it's episode number 200, we went back and we looked at we've looked at the very first episode.
Way back from 2007.
Yeah, it was June 25th. Yes, that it went
4
live.
4 days from now.
Yes. So I thought, well, it would be cool to look at some other things that happen in the world on June 25th.
Yeah.
All throughout the years. Because we're added to, a big line of big things happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, at least we think we're pretty big.
Yeah, we think we're big. So, okay. So in 1876 was the Battle of Little Bighorn.
Yep.
On June 25th. In 1950, the Korean War began. Yeah. In 1947, The Diary of Anne Frank was published.
Yep.
That's pretty good. In 1978, the Gay Pride rainbow flag is flown for the first time.
I salute that one.
Yes. 1963, a personal favorite of mine, Doug Gilmore, is born. Happy birthday, Doug.
Happy hockey players.
Yes. In 1988, Roger Rabbit debuts in Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Which, interesting fact here.
Yeah.
Originally, Roger Rabbit was supposed to be voiced by Pee Wee Herman.
Really?
Yep.
That would have been a lot
There is
different.
test footage with him actually doing the voice.
I have to see that.
Yeah.
I have to see that. Okay, so in 1993, Kim Campbell becomes the first female Prime Minister of Canada.
Yeah, and she's still better than who we have now.
Yeah. And 2009, Michael Jackson died.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not going to go into the politics on that one, but
No.
it was a big loss. Let's just
But
say
you're
that.
saying, Leela, what happened in comic books that week?
Yeah.
Right? That's what you want to know. Okay, so that week in comics, Spike Shadow Puppets #1 came out.
Yep. Hi, Brian! Thanks for your support over the last 200 episodes. We do apologize for making fun of you a lot. We still like you.
We do. We do. X-Men Endangered Species one-shot came out, part of a big X-Men event. Countdown 45 came out, and this one was DC was counting down comic books.
That was before they
once a week.
launched again and again and again.
Yeah. And Repo #1 came out, and I thought it would be fun to do a comic book review of something that came out from the week that we first aired that I did not read that week. So here's your review of Repo #1. Katie and Emil are two small-time repo men. Usually their job is repossessing cars. But today, they must repo an escaped clone, specifically its heart. With a multi-million-dollar contract on the clone, every repo team in the area will be on the hunt, not to mention the Clone Liberation Army. Who will find the clone first?
Yep. So this particular book was turned into
Yeah, I mean,
the
it's...
Repo Men movie.
Yeah, it's not an exact translation.
No. But it is what was used as the basis for the Repo Men movie. But they also took a lot of ideas from another Repo thing.
Yes.
But
go ahead, Jim. Plug it. Just plug it. Go ahead.
Repo the Genetic Opera, which came before this.
Yes.
As a play, mind you.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, I mean, it's not an original idea to buy and sell organs and stuff.
No.
But long before Repo the Genetic Opera, there were things that happened like that. But quite frankly, they did steal a lot from each other. So there is that. But I still enjoyed both.
Yes, and I, you know, this book was okay. It wasn't awesome. I mean, it had some pretty decent art, and obviously the idea is an interesting idea that has been moved forward. So you know, it could have all started around here, or you know. So you know, it was an interesting thing that came out that week. I really wish I could have read Spike Shadow Puppets. I tried to find it, but we were so good at selling it, we didn't have any. So
there you go, Brian. We sold out a book.
Yeah, exactly. So you know, but. Hey, it was fun to go back to 2007 and read something for sure and see how far we've come. So.
But as for how far we've come in 5+ years, I mean, for me personally, my company grew. I had a book that sold out in a day.
Steampunk
Palin, and it sold 6,000+ copies, sold out in a day.
I still have my signed copy, it's not for sale.
It's worth like $100 now.
Yep.
And it became international news.
Yes, yeah, that was the funny part in some cases. Some people
hilarious.
didn't get, like, you know, the comedy of it. They just didn't get it.
It was a big success for me, and I really appreciate everyone that enjoyed the book and got the humor that it was supposed to be. Of course, I laugh at anyone that took it serious, but...
And everybody wants to know, will there be some sort of sequel?
Eventually, but it won't be through Antarctic Press. It'll probably be through my own company. I've got 2 scripts already written, but it really depends on getting an artist do it. I don't think I'm that good, so
Yeah.
I'll have some professional artists draw it up, and I'll release it through my own company. But it
Cool.
won't,
We should get people to submit artwork.
but up to them.
Yeah.
But the first one that will be coming out will probably be the parody I did a couple months ago called Robo Reagan.
Nice.
But other than that, I also had a lot of success with my own little company and my own webcomics, getting about 10 award nominations.
Yeah.
So I can't complain. And of course, the show has grown.
Yes, absolutely.
Of
We have a
course,
lot more viewers than when we started. Woo.
Yeah. But we've never really changed very much.
No, I don't think so. No.
It's never, this show, as much as I love doing it, it's never been about visual effects. It's never been about trying to sell you anything. It's about the honest to God truth on what we think about the books that came out that week.
Yes.
And we would never take money from anyone to review a book favorably. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
And anyone who thinks or does that is just not a reviewer in my sense.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm always going to be honest with my reviews, as will Leela.
Yep.
And of course, we're not a show about Marvel or DC. We're about everyone.
Yes.
Equally.
Yes, we just got another send-in this week, so
yeah,
we'll have
we've actually got about 10 more
you.
send-ins to get to.
Yeah.
And of course, we're going to do a total month in October of nothing but alternative books.
Yeah.
Just as we do months for Marvel and DC.
Yes.
Because we're all about every company.
Yeah, we're probably
no
gonna
matter
get
how small.
hit over the head by Robert Kirkman for not doing our Image Month or something. So.
Probably. Eventually, I'm sure we'll do an Image Month.
Yes.
But I mean, we do enough of their stuff as it is.
Yes.
So yeah, we're gonna bring this to a close. But before we go, we want to thank each and every one of you that has stuck by us for the last 199 episodes.
Yes.
Whether you like the show, whether you don't like it, whether you like to make fun of me for my stupid hair or my hat, that's fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I want to personally thank everyone who's joined us over the last 200 episodes, and hope that you'll join us for the next 200, or at least until the world ends on December 21st. Anyway,
yeah.
thanks a lot for joining us. Have a great one. We'll see you later.